Okay. Bonnie, I'm making you the host.
Okay.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you? I gotta push this closer because I gotta work it. Okay.
So,
All right. Thank you, Dina.
So we're now recording. We're now on Facebook. Bonnie, just at the end, you'll see on the top. Bonnie, you
What?
should see on the top of your screen where it says live on Facebook and recording. That's where you're gonna stop everything at the end of this.
All right. So I just click it and that's it.
It should
Okay.
be.
Yeah, I see it.
And I tend to stop it before all the chit chat happens. Like once all the questions are done.
Okay, I got it. I pressed
Okay.
the button. I got it. Yep.
Yeah. And then Ellen Wasserman, you're in charge of announcing what's happening next week.
Got it.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Feel better, Dina.
Feel better.
Okay, so
Feel
tell me
better.
when
Feel
you're
better,
ready.
Dina.
I think we're ready.
Yep. All right. So the first thing that I want to do is
Can't hear you.
Can hear.
I think you're muted.
You're muted.
Canterbury, you have to unmute yourself.
right. Sorry. Welcome everybody to the Wasserman Kitchen once again, because they got a lot more room than I do. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is roast hazelnuts, or they're also called filberts. Look, 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 look. These little dealy bumpers. And you have an oven preheated to 350, and we're going to use that as we're going to just leave the oven on for the hour or however long it is.
Would you like to show how they look on the tray?
Now, with the instructions I've given you, you can lay them out on a sheet of either parchment paper or tin foil in a baking pan. And every 5 minutes, well, I'll just take this off. That's all right. And every 5 minutes, you want to be sure to give it a stir. But one of the things that I do, so I don't have to worry about stirring, is I put it on a little rack like that. See that? That's a cup of hazelnuts. I put it on that like a rack, and I don't have to turn them. They're just gonna roast. So I'm gonna put them in the oven now. All right, and they're gonna roast for 15 minutes. All right.
There he goes. You need my help? He's got it.
So if you're making the brownies and you don't have a little rack like that, a little then you have to watch it about every 5 minutes, turn them over so that they get nice and roasted on all sides. And
a 15-minute.
yeah, 15 minutes. And then I'll pull them out, and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with it. Now, while we're doing that, I'm gonna get started. What am I gonna start with first? You know what? This is that brownie mix that I suggested. It's Pareve, okay? Take a peek. It's that Duncan Hines dark chocolate, and I'm making the fudgy type of brownies, and so I'm only going to use 1 egg. Do you have a glass of some sort where I can just? I actually don't. I'm funny about this. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to break an egg here.
You need a fork?
Did you put the brownie mix in the bowl yet?
Yeah, did. Put it in the bowl. Okay. I'm throwing that egg in there. And I'm putting in right now 1/3 of a cup of oil. There's the oil going in.
What kind of oil are you using?
You can use vegetable oil, canola oil, coconut oil. And now what I'm going to ask Ellen to do is to give me 1/3 of a cup of warm water. And I want to show you what I'm putting in there. I try to make this very simple. So what I did was I found Ferrara's instant espresso coffee, instant coffee. You can use espresso, you can use regular coffee, instant coffee. And I put a tablespoon in there. All right. Here's a tablespoon.
Hold on.
I bought this. Is this okay?
What'd you, show what you bought. You're a little dark. Cafe, do you see?
Espresso, instant coffee.
That's fine. I happen to find this, so I'm gonna put this in here, and I'm gonna mix it up. See what I'm doing? I'm just mixing it up in a little bit of warm water, and it's not much. Only I put a tablespoon. It normally tells you, you would put a teaspoon in the cup, but I want to get that espresso kind of flavor, and so I mix it up and I pour it right on into the mix. Got it?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Does that coffee have a lot of caffeine in it?
It may, I don't know, but and then you have to beat it up. Now let me show you. It recommends that you put you do at least 50 strokes, and you want to make sure that everything, it's a nice fudgy sort of batter. Now, one of the things I put in, I will tell you, that I like is caramel syrup or hazelnut syrup. And I bought a little bit, and so I'm just throwing it in just for a little extra flavor. And I get the sugar-free, so, there's enough sugar in these things anyway, but this way.
Could I have added vanilla syrup?
Yeah, you could. You try it out. I like hazelnut syrup because because we're going to be putting hazelnuts in there, and caramel adds a certain sweetness. So I just keep turning it over and over till it's all going to be, what do you call it? Incorporated. Yeah, that comes from the incorporated office.
Do you want Alan to do the 50 strokes?
Yeah, go ahead, Alan. I'm gonna let you do it. And while we're at that, we're gonna boil some water. You got that saucepan for me?
Oh, but I have an instant hot thing that the water comes out boiling.
Yeah, that would be good, but put it in a saucepan, please.
No problem.
So you want to boil and you want to put in 4.5 cups of water.
Which size?
A good size, a larger size.
Larger than this?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's not a small pan. That's like a this?
No, that's too big. The other one I think.
This is the best one I got.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're working this out.
We didn't practice this part.
4.5 cups. 4.5 cups.
Of what?
Yeah.
I smell the coffee. I think it's going to keep me up tonight.
Now, so you see, that's a perfect advertisement. See, you can smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the coffee. So we're gonna boil this water. You want to boil 4.5 cups of water, and a little bit of background. Grits. Let me explain what grits are. They take corn and they soak it in, believe it or not, lye. Now, normally lye is very poisonous, right? But they soak it in lye, and it makes the kernels just, boom, puff up. And then, of course, they rinse it so that you don't have anything poisonous about it anymore. And this is what is known as hominy, H-O-M-I-N-Y, hominy. And people will eat it like a side dish. You can buy cans of hominy.
Excuse me, what am I doing with this? Putting it on flame?
Yeah, you definitely, you want to get it boiling. By the way, grits, then they dry them out. They dry out the hominy, and then they will grind it to a gritty consistency. It's not that fine. And normally, regular grits take, if you ever watch My Cousin Vinny, regular grits take 20 minutes to cook. But the quick cooking grits, not instant. The quick cooking grits will only take 5 minutes, okay? And you put them in boiling water. Okay. So we're waiting for that water to boil. And you know what? Put a little bit of salt in there. I put in a teaspoon of sea salt or kosher salt. Yeah, put it into the water. That's fine. Now, with these grits, normally the way I make them at home is I'll throw everything in a bowl. I mean, I'll throw the grits and water in a bowl, and I'll just microwave it. It's very, very fast. Put it in there 3 minutes, microwave it for 3 minutes, then take it out and potchka with it. Put in the cheese, usually cheese, a little garlic, a little hot sauce, and then at the last minute, some egg to make it fluffy. But this, for this particular recipe, you have to do things a little bit differently. You can't just throw the eggs in. What you have to do, because if you just throw the eggs into a hot pot, it'll make them like scrambled eggs, and that's not what you want. So when the grits come out, we're going to take a couple tablespoons of the grits and put them in with 2 eggs. All right, and then after we've mixed those, incorporated them.
Could you put chocolate chips in the grits?
No, you may not.
Okay.
No soup for you. Grits are a savory dish in the South, and they're served only with butter and salt and pepper and maybe hot sauce. Or if you're definitely not kosher, with red-eye gravy, which is made of chazer or ham.
Use the Yiddish word for ham.
Yeah, that's the only way I can do it in this class. If I say chazer, right? No, that way you'll know without any legal liability. So as soon as that gets to boiling, I've got in here, I've measured out a little bit more than a cup of grits. Okay, I'm gonna put them in there, and I'm gonna stir them until they're I'm gonna stir them just for about just a few minutes. Okay. Now, how are we doing with the nuts? Now, I mean,
5 minutes left on the nuts.
all right. So if you've been, I hope y'all have been stirring those hazelnuts. Make sure that they're done evenly, because when we're done, I'm going to show you that.
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
With the grits, if you have that in the morning, you could put like fruit. You could put fruit on top.
No. Grits is a savory dish. Only in the North will people eat grits with any kind of sweetener. But if you want something like that, what you really want to do is get cream of wheat.
Yeah, I like that.
But this is different. Grits are made from corn. By the way,
Cancer Bear, don't they use it for a substitute for potatoes, basically?
they could. I mean, it's really made like a cereal. But you have to be careful. And they now finally say not to be handling it's degerminated white corn. They add some other things, some other minerals and stuff in there. But you got to be careful with grits. You really shouldn't be handling it very much with your hands, because this is essentially, even though it's all dried out, it's still raw corn. And it's not ready to eat like this. And so
it sounds dangerous. I don't even know if I want to even go near it.
You have to cook it. It's like that other white meat. You got to cook it all the way through. Because you got to cook it. That's it. Then it's edible.
But I think there should be like a
warning.
There is. Didn't used to be, because people, but I will tell you, if you get some on your hands, you really should, you really should, here it is, Alan, you really should wash your hands.
See, with French toast, there's no warning. You could just do whatever you want.
That's right.
This is very dangerous.
That's right. That's why. They started the Civil War over this.
I never heard that.
Even the Quaker guy has a scary looking face on. He looks nervous that he's even on the container. Look. Normally he's smiling. Look, he doesn't look happy.
Yeah, but once he eats the grits, that smile comes right on out.
All right, we'll see.
All right. So,
All right, the water is almost boiling and you have 3 minutes left on your hazelnuts. Let's ask who's cooking along with you. So
yeah, is anybody cooking along with me, and what are you cooking?
Robin, definitely. I see.
Robin, you making brownies. Hey, Rabbi. I know that pun.
Yep. Robin, you're making brownies, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so far so good. And what's Lana? Lana, what are you making?
Lana, you cooking this time or not?
She's in the kitchen. I'm assuming she is, but she's on mute. Unmute.
Unmute.
I'm cooking brownies, but yeah, I have a lot of things going.
The only thing is,
My computer is
it's not gonna
completely
last
broken.
long. Those brownies should be, and you'll look at them, and the skins, dark skins, will be. You don't want to burn them because you got to turn them over, but it'll be fragrant. You'll be able to smell them, and it's really, really wonderful.
I think your water's boiling.
Can we see what they look like?
What?
The grits,
The grits? Yeah.
because we can't see the pot.
Oh, we're not there yet. Wait. You stay where you are. Yeah.
You see them?
Okay, so you haven't put them in water or anything?
Not yet. I'm about to.
All right, let's walk over to the boiling water.
Okay, let's do that. Yep. We have a, what's it called?
All right, waiting for the grits. I don't know, this sounds very dangerous.
It's not. Can I use this one to kind of stir them?
Yep.
All right, so water's boiling and I'm just gonna dump them in. Okay,
How much is that?
that's a cup, a little more actually, but whoa. We can turn this down a little bit. And you want to stir it so it doesn't stick, but probably won't. Okay.
Make it lower.
You cook it about 5 minutes. Let me those what do you call it? I'm gonna let you stir these. Let's see. I'm watching my
We're
time.
calling Alan. Alan, I'm on the computer, so you got to stir.
No, so you know what I'm gonna do while you do that, Alan, while you're stirring, just stir it. Okay.
You want me to start?
Yeah,
Stir.
you're stirring.
And in the meantime, I'm gonna take out the hazelnuts.
There's the helpful guy.
Watch this. Be careful. I don't want you to get burnt there.
Between getting burned and being near these toxic grits. I hope I have enough insurance. That's a segue, right?
Yeah. All right. So take a look. What you'll see is that the skins have sort of split away from the nuts themselves. They could have gone another 5 minutes, but that's all right. They're going to be delicious. Now, let me bring these over here. And I'm going to put them in a kitchen towel. This is how you get the skins off. Hold on. Let me just see if I can do this.
Oh, that's what you wanted to kiss.
I'm losing a few. Sorry.
Clean up aisle 3.
Clean up, right. These are hot. They're hot,
You
hot,
want to
hot.
take the skin off of all of them?
And I'm gonna show you how you do it. Hold on. What did I?
This one. This one.
So you put them in a kitchen towel and you wrap them up and they're sort of steaming in the kitchen towel. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna massage them, massage, rub them up against each other a lot. Just keep doing it. And what's gonna happen is that the skins, the dark skins, are gonna come away from the nut itself. You don't want to save those skins. You want to throw them away, and then just reserve the roasted nuts.
I have a question. You say the skins. Do you
What?
mean the shell or the skin?
The
You took the
skins,
shell off? So they
Oh,
were,
yeah,
they
yeah.
were shelled already?
they were shelled already. I've never bought hazelnuts. I've seen them in the shells, but that's an extra step. They're cheap enough to buy them, already shelled and raw. And I love them. I mean, you can.
It's boiling. Is it done?
No, it's got to cook 5 minutes. Let me just take a peek.
Robin and Lana, anybody having trouble with their nuts?
Remember, I did it beforehand. I read the instructions on, I Googled it. So my nuts are pretty, I don't know if you can see it.
I know.
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
We lost our fellas.
5 minutes.
You see my,
Ellen, for 5 minutes?
I didn't put a timer on.
Okay, so that's good enough, Alan. That's fine. So what we're gonna do now,
Let's see how the nuts look.
huh?
How do the nuts look?
1 second. Let me put this away. Alan, if you'll bring the pot over here. And I'm gonna crack 2 eggs.
So I was told that I could be sitting on the couch during this. I haven't sat for 2 minutes yet.
Oh,
Stirring and nuts and
Hey, you know what? The president of this show's got to go to work.
It looks like cream of wheat, if anybody wants.
I
to
guess
know.
you're taking those brownies to work tomorrow, huh, Alan? He didn't answer. Something went wrong.
Okay, good, sorry.
All right, so I'm letting you know that I beat up 2 eggs in a little bowl. 2 eggs, whole eggs. And now, Alan, what I want you to do is I want you to take 2 spoonfuls and put it in the egg. 1, yep, and another one. Right? Now, watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mix it up in the bowl here.
are you cooking the eggs?
No, it's
Oh.
not cooking them. If I threw them in that bowl, it would seriously cook them. But for right now, it's just incorporating them, and I'm gonna put them in there in just a moment. Now, I've also cut up a, what do you call it? 6 tablespoons of margarine, because we're making this parva, and I'm adding them in, keep stirring. I'm adding them in one at a time, a tablespoon at a time. I washed my hands beforehand.
I didn't see him wash his hands at all.
Well, you're not observing. What can I say? You're not
We've
observing.
been with him 2 hours. He never left our site.
Okay, so, and I'm gonna put something else in that's really important. What happened to my diet?
What are you looking for?
cheese.
The cheese is in there.
Standing up, in the refrigerator, standing up. You don't see it? To the right, in the middle, to the right. Here, I'll get it.
Oh, yeah. Now, normally in this recipe, you put in cheese, grated cheddar cheese. But to make this parva, I'm putting in a product called Daya, which is a vegetarian cheese made out of chickpeas and konjac. and it melts really well. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put one 8-ounce package in. Watch this. Keep stirring, Alan. Keep stirring. And I've also measured out, I measured
Oh,
out,
it's getting thick.
I've measured out a teaspoon of, I think it was a teaspoon of garlic powder and a quarter of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I'm gonna throw we'll mix all that in there too.
That doesn't sound like that goes with that.
Oh, it does, you'll see. Make sure you get the edges there. And watch this. Here comes the egg. Keep stirring, but not just in the center.
Now maybe hold the handle and go get the edges.
Thank you. I have no idea what's in there. I need how to come in? For at least 7 people.
Watch, Alan, you gotta get the edges.
How you doing?
All right. I'm gonna go in.
All right, now watch what we're gonna do. So everything is melted, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grease a pan, and I'm just gonna use, to make life easier, I'm gonna grease a using Pam, and I'm gonna pour. Watch this move. I'm gonna pour all of this right in the pan. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
Who wants to know? There's only one person who wants to know.
Really good.
Now, going in the oven. Going in the oven, and we're gonna bake it for 30 minutes. It'll come out just in time. Yeah, if you want, you can dust it with a little bit of pepper. All kinds of wonderful things you can put in here to add texture, but I love it creamy like this. My kids went nuts over in the now. Let me show you these nuts.
Yeah, I mean.
They're still pretty warm. And these you kind of have to take out. And we're going to put them.
Oh, look at the nut.
I'm throwing them in.
You throw them in whole?
Yep. I mean, you can put them in. I like them whole because,
If a little skin gets on, is that okay?
yep, it's all right if there's a little skin. Got to have a little skin in this game. And you know what we're going to do with this once I get all this stuff in? I'm going to put it in another pan, and we're going to bake it for, I guess, about 20 odd minutes. I'm going to bring it out to cool. And once it's cool, then it's ready to cut. And man, is it good. It's, you know.
You said a 9 by 13 pan?
Yeah, it makes it, it's thin. You can use, if you use a, the box says if you use an 8 by 8 pan, then you cook it a little bit less, you know. So I
And
think.
do you spray the pan before you put it in?
Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. See all these things, how they came off in the what you call it, in the kitchen towel.
Okay, I'm using this size,
What size are you using?
What size?
like this size,
Is that square or rectangle?
square.
That'll work, right?
Yeah, it'll work. Whatever the box says, we got the box over there. Whatever the box says, that's what you do. It gives the direct how long you should bake it for the various size pans.
Okay, this is a
8 by 8, 31 to 34 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little, because it's not as thin, a brownie, you bake it longer, okay?
Okay, this
So
is an
what-
8 by 8.
8 by 8 or 9 by 9.
Right.
Robin, is it 8 by 8 or 9 by 9?
By 8.
8 by 8, okay, 31 to 34.
Yeah, and the key is with, and you want to incorporate these, the key is that at the end of the time, you take a toothpick and you put it down in there, and if it comes out clean, then you're good to go. Okay? Now, let me pan down this pan.
What's this?
And I really look to spread it out as, I mean, you're just going to have to spread it throughout the pan to the edges. And, but I mean, this is pretty simple stuff, but the taste is out of this world. And I started doing this because for Thanksgiving, I needed a part of a dessert. So this is what I did.
Now a family fave, right?
Yeah, serious. Yeah.
I think we would be adding chocolate chips.
You can, but it's really, you'll see how fudgy these are with only one egg. If you,
Me too, Ellen. I would add chocolate chips too.
Thanks, Bonnie.
you know
I'll add
what,
them to anything.
Me too, Bonnie.
you know, Bonnie, that great Rabbi, Patrick Henry used to say, give me chocolate or give me death. So after he got his chocolate, he died. Something like that. And I'm going to put these in. They should actually come out close to the same time. But what I would do, again, with the grits, the last little bit of time with the grits, I would add some more. Let me put this in, okay? See how it is? It's just a very simple way of doing it. In it goes.
All right, while he's putting it in, I just want to give a shout out to the Sisterhood. And this was a bowl we got at one of the Sisterhood Hamantash baking nights. I love all the bowls that we get from Sisterhood.
Yay, yay. Cheryl and I used one of our bowls tonight too to make something.
Yep, love those bowls.
Now, one of the things that I'm going to do at the end, or not, is I'm going to take another half a package of this Daya, okay? This vegetarian cheese, just a half a package, and I'm going to sprinkle it over the top of the grits and let them melt in, so it's a nice kind of, it's just a nice coating, all right?
Now, let me ask you something. People using vegetarian cheese because you're here today, because you serve it with meat?
Because in case, so the whole idea of this is that I'm using vegetarian and pareve things so that you can have this sort of traditional Southern dish that would normally be dairy. You can have it with, but normally you make for breakfast. You can make it if you're serving a dairy meal. It's a fabulous side.
Hassan,
Yeah.
if I only found mozzarella version of Daya.
They make cheddar shreds. And
I
they
know,
make
but when I went to the store, they only had mozzarella. Am I gonna?
Yeah, that's, oh, you know what I forgot to put in? But I'll put it in at the end.
What? What did you forget?
Some nutritional, but I'm going to put it in on the top. Have you ever seen nutritional yeast?
Oh yeah, I didn't get that either.
Yeah, if you have some of that, you can sprinkle it on top. It adds a nice color. We're gonna do it near the end, okay? It adds a nice color with the cheese, and it kind of gives it somewhat of a nutty cheese flavor. Before I found Daya, I would throw it in scrambled eggs, and it, instead of cheese, and it would give it a little bit of that taste.
All right, my question, what do people down south eat these cheesy grits with?
They'll eat it with eggs and bacon, or eggs and ham. But it's more like a bowl of cereal to them.
So it's a breakfast?
Yeah,
And
generally it's
biscuits,
a breakfast.
Kanta, biscuits. Biscuits.
Not so much biscuits, because biscuits and grits are really kind of the same sort of thing. They're both a starch. But you know what, Bonnie? If you're hungry enough and somebody, it's
So you
still
eat
going to be
biscuits
good.
with gravy.
I don't eat biscuits or grits, so I mean.
Well, no, biscuits go with gravy, right? Right, Canto?
Yeah,
Biscuits
that's a
with
good
gravy.
point, Robin. Biscuits and gravy. Yeah.
Biscuits normally you serve either with a jam, or you serve it with the gravy, a sausage gravy, which you can make kosher, by the way. You can, with some substitutes, sausage or milk.
Simple Life makes vegan sausage.
What is that?
Simple Life makes vegan sausage. They can.
Yeah, you could make that. That would be wonderful. That's not what you would eat with grits, but it is what you would eat. You could put on biscuits. Cover it with like a sausage gravy and put it on biscuits. Delicious. All right. So, wow, now we just wait. But when it's all done, boys, are going to be good. And Ellen, I'll tell you what, these see this towel?
I gotta shake that.
Just shake it, shake.
Take it outside.
Yeah, that's good.
So Lana and Robin, does anybody have any questions?
No.
What's going to happen
Mine's in
is
the
that
oven.
the grits, unlike normal grits, the grits are going to puff up with the eggs incorporated inside it, and it'll be this lovely, creamy, like stuffing sort of thing. It's really, really good. Cheesy, creamy. It's like cereal, but it'll have a nice on the top. It'll be browned a little bit.
How long does this stay? How long is it good for?
That's interesting. I know regular grits you could freeze, but it's not as good.
Like, am I going to be eating grits for like the next 2 days? That's why I'm there.
I don't think so. I don't think you will. I think you're going to wipe them out, because it's really very good. But all you have to do, just nuke it and put a little bit of extra water if you need. But it should be fine. It really should be good.
If you want to use regular cheese, how much cheese would you use?
Same amount.
Same amount.
Same amount. That's what I would use.
I want to know how many points it is on Weight Watchers.
Oh, I don't count points. Only in basketball. only in basketball. So as I said, in about another 5 minutes, I'm going to pull the grits out. 5-10 minutes. I'm going to pull the grits out and put these last couple of ingredients, spoon them on. Okay, and if you decide that you want more garlic, very important. I use garlic powder, which is more intense than minced garlic or granulated garlic. You don't, or fresh garlic. It's pretty, you don't have to use very much of it at all. But if you decide that you want more another time, then you'll put more in there. All right. That's, and the same thing is with hot pepper. So I want to tell you that, the cayenne. But grits are very often served with hot sauce. Get Frank's or Tabasco sauce or something like that. Do it to your taste. All right?
Our taste is not at all.
Yeah, if you don't, it's the way it is now, it's not really very spicy. A quarter of a teaspoon for all those grits and stuff is very, very little. It'll add just that much heat. Very, very little. Not enough, really not enough to tell. It'll add more flavor than heat. What else?
Do you like your grits hot? With hot sauce?
I like them a little spicy, and that's the reason I brought a bottle of Frank's. I like it, but I'm happy. I'm happy to eat them just with salt and black pepper. They're delicious.
Nice.
And you call it, if you're in the South, say you order a mess of grits. Not a bowl, you order a mess of grits. A mess of grits. Mess.
I wonder if you could make this like a potato latte.
Well, it's interesting. One of the things that I'm thinking of doing, and I want that you can try to do, is when after you've eaten a bit of it, put it in the fridge and chill it. It will, it'll firm up, and then. Because what grits are is really like the Jewish version, the Southern version of polenta, or the Hungarian version, mamalige. It's because they would take Bonnie. So Bonnie, I can't hear you. Unmute yourself, Bonnie. You're muted.
My Romanian friends used to make that mama liquor, and I used to look at them like, "What is that? You kidding me or what?"
One of the last times I went to Ratner's down on the Lower East Side, Oliver Sholem, they would serve Mama Liga, and it was delicious. Now it was yellow cornmeal, and it was ground finer than grits normally are, but it's still basically the same kind of thing. So what I was going to suggest, once you refrigerate it, cut it into slices. See if you can cut it into slices, and then fry it in the pan. Either in rounds or in slices, thin slices, like you would polenta.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I have done that. I forgot, but that's and it'll work. But I've not done it with having put egg in there. I've done it with regular grits, cheese grits, and it's delicious.
Sounds good.
You could put this like on a bun, like a hamburger.
No.
No.
We have a corn burger?
No.
That sounds very fancy.
It doesn't taste like burger. It doesn't taste like meat, but it has that. In the South, people would I have a cast iron pan in which I only cook cornbread. And people would take stuff like this, and it would be a side for them. They would cook either cornbread for stuffing, or they would take something like this, like polenta is really more of a Mexican thing. And they might put in jalapenos, or sometimes they would put in to that, more with cornmeal, I guess. They put in some sugar for sweet and spicy, but try it out once, if you've not eaten it all, try it out, refrigerate it, try to slice it into, try to slice it. It should be able to hold together, and fry it up in a pan, and it's another iteration and should be delicious. All right, you know what I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Let's take out, I'm going to put in some of this Daya, and this I'm going to sprinkle on top, and we'll let it bake.
Let's go.
Hold the phone, folks.
Let's go.
It's not quite, it's not set up yet, but it will. It'll set up. Okay.
I don't want to get in your way.
Can y'all see?
Everybody sees? What's that again?
This is nutritional yeast, just for a little extra.
Crunch?
No, not crunch. B vitamins.
I need D vitamin. What do you got with the D?
I think the shell on the filter that be vitamin.
Now you're just getting silly.
So I would use for this maybe a half a bag.
And it's gonna go back in for like another 12 minutes is what.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
And then when you're done with the grits, I'm going to put this on the top shelf so it'll kind of get a little brown. But when you're done with the grits, take them out and let them sort of sit for 10 minutes. Man, these are good. See, these brownies are setting up. That's going to be good. What was that?
That ding? That's just a ding.
Yeah, you know what that is?
That's my text. Oh, so you switch. So now the.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
Excellent.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
All right. I don't think we're waiting the next 12 minutes for the brownies to be done, but I think we should say what they should expect after 12 minutes.
So what you should do with the brownies is when you're done with them, put them on a rack and let them cool. You don't want to try to cut them while they're still sort of in that, what you call it, stage.
Setting stage.
Setting stage. When you're right, you're not wrong. So put them on a rack and let them cool. And the grits, when they're done after, you can let them go 35 minutes. I probably would, especially with all this cheese and stuff in them. So I've given you also a recipe for a 1 serving breakfast portion in the microwave. I put that in as well. So that's what it is. All right. Questions?
Lazan, growing up, how often did you eat grits?
Growing up, my mama came from No. Growing up, my mama came from Borough Park. She didn't know from grits. So it was not until, I mean, I loved them. There's a famous restaurant called the Coffee Cup on Cervantes Street that's famous for their grits. Now, people, good fine restaurants will serve grits, shrimp and grits, chicken with grits, none of which we can eat unless you make them this way. Well, not the shrimp, but anyway. But shrimp and grits, chicken grits, huh?
We have mock
No fish and grits?
What?
They never had fish and grits? Fish.
Grits, no. Not fish and grits, shrimp and grits, chicken and grits, possibly. But most people just eat grits, just grits, plain. And as I said, just a little bit, just some salt and pepper and butter or margarine, and you're good to go. It's delicious. So
how would you serve that? With what?
No, that's what I would do. That's how I would normally make grits. Just as simple. And as I said, I use the 5-minute version, make it easy. But lately I'll throw in some cheese, and you can put in not just cheddar. You could put in some mozzarella. Doesn't have enough flavor.
Maple syrup?
No. Unless you're going to live and die in New York. That's
well, he is.
and live in Vermont or something. But classic grits are a savory dish. And I throw in an egg, I throw in cheese and garlic, and it's a wonderful, very, very fast breakfast. Is it as healthy as oatmeal? Probably not. Except that you've got cheese in there. Sometimes I'll throw Parmesan, whatever kind of cheese I have. Mozzarella doesn't have really any flavor per se, right?
But it's vegan, so does the cheddar taste good?
Yeah, you want that flavor because grits themselves don't have a lot of flavor. So the idea of adding cheese is to add a little tang to it. Does that make sense?
Yep. Interesting.
So that's.
Any more questions for the Chazan? I'm turning to me.
Okay.
I'm talking for Dina because unfortunately Dina is out sick today. So bad to say that. But we want to thank Chazan because my house smells delicious. Very weird. I got brownies and cheese grits cooking at the same time, but it does smell delicious. So thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
It's a lot of fun having him here. It comes with the cooking hat and the apron, and it comes with all the stuff. A lot of fun. Next week, before she rolls her eyes, we have Susan Monite, who'll be doing her famous. She's doing her famous potato latkes. So Dina's going to be out sick tomorrow. So I don't know if you guys are going to get the link tomorrow or Tuesday, but it'll be the link with all the ingredients for the potato latkes. As everybody knows, we're going to be doing candle lighting every night during Hanukkah. So before Susan teaches us how to do the potato latkes, we all will be lighting Hanukkah candles. And 2 weeks from now, we're trying something very different. Dina is going to teach us all how to make homemade challah. So we're starting at like 1 o'clock. We're going to do it 1 o'clock, whatever the first thing is you have to do. And then we're going to all sign off and then re-sign on. I mean, this is only for people who really want to do the challah or learn the challah, but the actual last step will be at 7 o'clock and we'll have the full regular 7 o'clock class. But if you want to learn how to do challah step by step, I think it starts at 1 or 2, something later in the afternoon. You'll get all the things. And then in January, we're going to
in order to do challah, you got to do it very loudly. That's why they call it challah.
All right.
All right, I'm leaving.
And in January, I believe it's January, not February. January is going to be the month of soups. So if anybody has a soup they want to teach, please get in touch with Dina. And we have a couple of good people lined up already for soups. And that's it.
Like Lana's volunteering.
Yep, Lana's volunteering. And we also have Shari and Mike Peaceman's daughter-in-law who does, she does a food blog, and she's going to teach us, I think, French onion soup. But we do have a couple of good soups coming. Lana, do you know what soup you're teaching us? You're muted, Lana.
Salyanka.
Say it again.
Salyanka.
It's like a meat.
It's like a meaty soup. Lots of meat and kind of vegetables, but a lot of pickles and a pickle juice. If you get a can with the pickles, don't throw the pickle juice because all the pickles and the pickle juice goes inside the soup.
Wow.
And a lot of meat, like different salamis, different kielbases, salamis, hot dogs, chicken. So it's like really meaty soup.
Really? Okay.
Olives. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to have a lot to look forward to. So as Dina.
My husband loved it.
Yeah. Excellent. As Dina has said every week, if anybody wants to volunteer, I'm looking, I know for sure that Steve Casavana is an excellent cook because I've been to his house a few times. And he's taught me how to make kosher shrimp, which is delicious. So, Steve, if you ever want to volunteer, we'll take you and we'll take anybody else on the Zoom call right now. If you want to teach us how to cook some, please let us know.